And we're back. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared. He's Bob. Thanks for joining us, folks. It's our first episode post our special guest. The first time ever we've had a very special guest. I don't want to, I don't want to downplay all the other people we've had.
Our friends are not special in the sense of what we're discussing.
Yeah.
But Ian's the first person with an actual social media personality that we brought on.
Yeah, Ian was the first guy that
because we brought on
kind of social media famous.
And Sexy Chris isn't one of our idiot friends. He's a regular person.
Right.
Monster Chris took our poison somehow. He's a regular person, but we turned him into an idiot.
Yeah. Well, I think Ian was, I would say, is the first guest we've had that we don't have any ties to, like personal ties.
Right.
Yeah. So it was fun. I actually got a lot of feedback from a few people that listen to the show. Some of our listeners that have been on with us before. So everyone seemed to enjoy it. So that's cool. I mean, I had a blast.
That's the thing is he's good. So it's without us having to explain to him hey, we like to have fun. We like to keep it light. We say dumb shit. He just we didn't even have to tell him that's how we operate.
Right. Right. Yeah. A little bit of how the sausage is made. Before we did that episode, there was really not a lot of talk. There was no prepping, hey man, these are some of the things we're going to cover. We were just hey, this is our show. You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever. And we're just going to fucking wing it. So it's what we do here.
You did come up with questions. We didn't go into
it. Yeah. But we didn't rehearse the questions beforehand or anything. He didn't even know that.
Every time I've gone on a podcast where I'm the guest and I'm talking serious podcasts where it's not my name is Dickhole on here or whatever.
Yeah.
They always send me the questions beforehand. I'm dude, you don't need to just fire at the hip.
Yeah, we're good. Let's just talk.
That's the other thing too. It's if you want to prepare for these, I'm I'll read them. I ain't preparing for them.
Yeah, exactly.
What I think on Thursday, I might change my answer by the time we actually record.
I'm allowed to change my mind. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Currently, we're watching. You're watching. I don't have TV. You're watching the what is it? The 3M Open.
Yeah. Because so rooting interest for all fans of the show. It'll be over by the time this comes out, but Ian has a 100-1 bet on Cam Champ, who's got a 2-shot lead. He's hitting out a fucking over knee height grass.
That's good.
And now he has an approach shot from the rough over water to the green. So I mean, he can just throw it on middle 3-putt and win, but it's not the easiest thing we're working with here.
Yeah, yikes. That doesn't sound ideal. So like I said, we got a lot of shit that's been going on. At least also for me too. Today is our last day at the house of having any usable space other than what you're looking at right here on YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, give us a subscription, leave us a comment, all that fun stuff. Subscribe wherever you're listening to while we're at it. But yeah, we had our last bit of demo this weekend. We took care of the kitchen, which absolutely fucking miserable. I think taking tile off the ground is somewhere around the 5th or 6th level of hell.
Well, so the question is, how did you do it?
With a hammer and a chisel and a tile remover thing, a big flat fucking big ass chisel.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
You didn't have enough time to ask Chris Healy, right? Because
no,
it kind of got sprung on you.
Yeah. He had a tile remover.
Well, I told you, his uncle worked in tile, or his uncle currently works tile.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's something where if you pop that first tile, I think it's almost like a big chisel broom.
Right.
They just kind of bang, scrape, bang, scrape.
Yeah. I mean, we tried a bunch of stuff. I ended up taking the angle grinder and like trying to chop out some of the grout in between the tiles. But what we ended up realizing was for whatever reason, there's two different subfloors in the kitchen. Again, I didn't build the house. I don't know why, but there was one subfloor under the tile that I don't know if whatever it was, it it didn't really hold much. So the tiles were popping off like solid, like a couple pops, and you can like get your fingers underneath and pull the whole tile off. Well, the other part of this, the other type of subfloor, I think was made of, I don't know, whatever the stickiest fucking substance in the world is. I don't know, what is it like flubber, maybe? Yeah, Gorilla Glue. They held it down with Gorilla Glue, and it was impossible to get off. You had to get it off in pieces. It was fucking miserable. It sucked. You're bending over. It's the worst thing in the world. So much so that once we finished the kitchen yesterday, I took a look at Amy and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this whole demo thing, this whole construction thing. And she was like, yeah, yep, 100%. I am all good to go. Because the contractor had told us last week, like, hey, if you guys are falling behind or you've just had enough, you're burnt out, like, let us know. We can finish it up for you. Obviously, like, we would pay for it because that wasn't in the initial quote. But I don't give a fuck at this point. The only thing that's left is the downstairs bathroom, a little bit of tile where the laundry is, and then the den where the dog hangs out. And I looked at Amy and I go, that's because they have 5 guys on their crew. That's about 1 day's work for 5 guys. So probably less, probably a half a day's work for 5 guys. Like it, the biggest obstacle they would have is that there's 5 of them in a confined space because it's just like that one room and the bathroom. So like they'd be tripping over each other. Yeah, they have too much help. It's like a full day for like 3 guys. So I don't care. I'm going to have them do it and they can handle it. And I will obviously pay them for it because I don't give a fuck anymore. Like I said, we've demoed literally 95% of this house. The last 5% can suck a fat dick as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we've said it all along. I went to college. I'm not a manual labor guy. Every time we start doing it, I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then it's not if it just takes a couple hours. But when you're putting in like 6, anywhere between a 4 and an 8-hour day over the course of, a month and a half, I'm good. I'm all set. My knees are hurting. My ankles are fucked up. I'm covered in bruises and cuts and everything. I can't tell you how many fucking nails I've stepped on.
Have you started smoking Parliaments and drinking Tall Boys yet?
Not yet. PBR Tall Boys in the brown paper bag.
Yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah. No, luckily, I think if I did that, if I finished the last room in the house, that's what I would have succumbed to. I would have started smoking cigarettes and drinking PBRs. So that's it. This is what you guys are seeing in this video is all I have left in the house. Everything.
I won't want to kill each other by hanging out the whole time.
Yeah, no, we were talking today, like we're going to have to like figure out shit to do like every single weekend. Like we're just going to have to start taking like day trips on like Saturdays and obviously places too where we can bring the dog.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're out of here by like, 10 o'clock on a Saturday and then we get home around like 6, that's at least eat up a chunk of the day. Like Sunday, whatever, I don't give a shit. I'll sit around and do nothing. I cooked today and we cleaned and did more shit because we have to clear the room so they can demo. So what can you do, right? Yeah, but we're going to save so much money doing it ourselves.
Can't take it with you, coach.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm at the point where like, I don't give a fuck. I'll pay for it. I don't care. Um, the one funny thing though that happened this week that I did want to touch on is the Buccaneers went to the White House to get their Super Bowl rings and do their whole fucking dog and pony show that everybody that wins a major sports championship, they always go to the White House, except the NHL, right? I don't think hockey does that because it's a Canadian, it's like a Canadian, technically it's a Canadian league, right? Because it's based out of Toronto, like headquarters.
Toronto's the headquarters. I'm
Like
trying to think.
I don't remember hearing about any hockey teams going to the White House.
Well, I
I mean,
got
I'm
to
sure some of
imagine.
them have.
I got to imagine the Blackhawks went when Obama was in office. Chicago, Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to say the Bruins went, but I can't really confirm that.
Yeah, no one really makes a big deal out of it. I mean, it's hockey and it's probably, the fourth of the big four, but um yeah, so whatever. The Buccaneers went, they did their whole thing. And did you hear about this at all?
Not really.
So they only they only scheduled or allowed whatever one person to speak from the team, and it was obviously Tom Brady.
Wonder why they picked him.
So he gets up on the podium and he starts roasting on Biden because Brady, if you remember, is a Trump guy. Remember there was the whole thing.
Called Trumpers now.
Yeah.
They're called Trumpers.
Yeah. You remember? I don't know if you remember, maybe. Back, I don't know, however many years ago, when he was still on the Pats, he had the Make America Great Again hat in his locker, like on the shelf in the top. And that was like a
that was the thing, was like him, Belichick, and Kraft were all in support of Trump.
yeah, they're like legitimate friends, like outside of, because people seem to forget that too, that even, as much as I hate politicians and think they're all cunts and I hate everybody and all that shit, and people are like celebrities and professional sports athletes are such like on a pedestal by everyone. These people are all still real people, like in life, and they do have friends. So Brady, Belichick, and Kraft are like legitimate friends with Donald Trump. Like I don't, so
Why would a bunch of rich white guys be friends with Donald Trump?
yeah, it's strange, right? It's definitely not his demo. So he gets up on the podium and he starts roasting Biden. I think one of the things he said was the season started out not that great for us. We were down and then we came back, but 40% of the league still thinks we didn't really win the championship. And then he made another joke about he goes, yeah, at one point during the season, things were so hectic and crazy. I forgot what down it was. And people started giving me crap about being old and everything. And a couple guys started calling me Sleepy Tom.
That's not bad either.
And then something, I don't know if it was part of that, but at some point something he was saying, Biden goes, oh yeah, I know, I can relate to that, or I know what he said, like I know what you're talking about. And Tom goes, do you?
That's like that would have been my first reaction. Like, I don't know that you do.
Yeah. So it was pretty awesome. It turns out Brady actually can have a good time when, fucking Belichick isn't breathing down everyone's neck, telling them not to open their mouths. But I thought that was pretty funny. And good on Brady. He probably gained a few fans and lost a few on that. But I mean, if you're gonna fucking bitch about Brady's something that a professional athlete said at the White House, like you can pound sand as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, people already don't like him. They already like blame him for supporting Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. So luckily, I feel like the people that really give a shit about politics don't give a shit about sports. So
Yeah, they only talk about it when it fits their agenda.
yeah, yeah. So, but I did wanted to share that because I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't hear any of that honestly. Like, I knew they got their rings, but
Yeah, I'm
whatever.
surprised your guy, the super conservative guy at the gym, didn't tell you that story.
You know, it's funny. It's no one's really been like that since the election kind of actually settled and we
Yeah,
kind of moved on. Like
yeah.
I haven't heard shit from any of my guys.
It kind of makes sense. Like it follows trends of the last, I don't know, at least 4 or 5 years, if not longer. I wasn't really paying attention much before that. But as far as like conservatives being a little more level headed at this point, and liberals being the ones that are like fucking so quick to fly off the chain. Because obviously, like while Trump was president, everything was orange man bad. But now that Biden's president, like conservatives are like, yeah, it sucks, but like he's the president, so we got to go with it. Like that's what I feel like the general consensus is. And then there's certainly some fucking dickhead conservatives out there that are like, no, Trump definitely still won. Biden stole. Like, get over it at this point. Go fuck yourself.
Well, dude,
Um,
I just saw it the other day. It's like I don't know, maybe Arkansas. I forget the topic. I forget the state. It's really not that important. But it's like Arkansas is like still trying to like write legislation about like abortion and stuff. It's like, wait, we're still doing shit like this?
yeah, I saw that. I forget.
Like again, I don't want to talk about it because I don't care. But I'm like, you're still like you're still spending your time trying to oppose these things, and it's like, man,
Yeah, I
settle
forget.
the
I
fuck
saw
down.
that. I forget what state it was, but it came out.
I
They're
want to
trying to
say,
overturn Roe v. Wade.
oh yeah, you
Like,
know what? Now I
dude,
don't know what.
that was a Supreme Court decision that happened. I don't know, whenever the fuck it happened. Like,
Yeah, I got no clue on
like
that.
go back in history. Now I don't know. Maybe I'm talking. Well, I know I'm talking out of my ass here, but maybe I'm about to get proven extremely wrong. But I feel like if you go back through history, find me a time where the Supreme Court ruled on something and then later was like, nah, we're going to go back on what we said outside of like slavery, probably.
Yeah, I don't. Who
Like
knows?
I can't imagine the Supreme Court flip flops that much.
Not very often, I don't think.
No. And
No,
that's what I mean. Like the
you're right.
Supreme Court already ruled on Roe v. Wade a long time ago. Like
It would,
it's in the law books. Like it's done. Like it's not going anywhere.
yeah, it would probably be something like 3/5 compromise and shit like that. Like shit that we can look back now and go, oh my god, that is really fucked up.
Right. Right. Especially since Roe v. Wade, the ruling was pro-choice. You know what I mean? Like very rarely do things go in reverse, like more conservatively. You know what I mean? Like when I don't know.
No. But so also with this week, the thing that everyone's fucking all caught up about is the vaccination status of professional athletes.
Oh yeah.
And I know it's Twitter, and Twitter's a fucking cesspool. And for whatever reason, this weekend I decided I'm just going all in on Twitter. I've been a huge fucking dickhead on Twitter. So,
It's great actually. I've enjoyed reading.
but like one thing that's like actually getting me pissed off, and I don't want to get into fucking pissing matches about it, is everyone is so concerned about NFL players being vaccinated or not being vaccinated. It's like, and it happened with golf as of this morning because DeChambeau and Rahm both tested positive, and it's just like, what the fuck do you care? Truthfully, what the fuck do you care?
Right.
Here's a question, Mel. How many professional athletes have you met in your life?
Like active,
Like,
less
like,
less than
like, not,
10.
yeah, okay. I was gonna say like ones of people.
Yeah, less
Like
than 10,
actual
single
professional,
digits.
like it's like
Like if you count like retired guys, then like still
no, so like so like
less than 20.
you met a professional athlete when they were active.
Yeah, less than 10.
And I was gonna say, so it's like the only reason I met a couple guys is because there was a fundraiser at the first internship I did. So I met like a couple of Red Sox players, and it's like what a professional athlete does with their life has no bearing on my life every day. None.
Correct.
There's one professional athlete, and he plays for the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Yeah.
Not in the NFL. And even then, if like he gets the call up, it's like that's awesome. It's a great story. It's like one of our athletes got the call up, but like it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change
Right.
anything with me.
Right. Right.
But these people are like they're getting so mad about like Dak Prescott. He doesn't want to get into his vaccination status. He says it doesn't really matter right now. And he's right. It doesn't
He is
matter.
right.
And people like, oh, he's being selfish, and like they're all like everyone just thinks like the action of these NFL players like matters, and it really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And I think
You just want people to be vaccinated so that like everyone can be vaccinated. And it's like, who cares? Who
right.
fucking cares?
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Seriously, Dak Prescott's vaccination status couldn't be a more irrelevant detail to anybody that is not on the Dallas Cowboys or in the Prescott family.
Right.
Those are the only people that would have a claim to care. But even then, it's still not that big of a deal.
No, it's not.
Like, no one wants to fucking take care of themselves. They want the league to be like 100% vaccinated. And it's like, oh, I wonder what Cole Beasley will think about this. Like, you fucking know what Cole Beasley's going to think about this. Obviously, he already spoke about it. He already gave a statement.
Right.
What the fuck do you want to talk about now? And it's like, obviously, the NFL is forcing the hand of the players, and they're going to try to make a scapegoat thing.
Right.
But they're telling you now. They're telling you right now. And if it's still something, it's like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it with the fucking media. I just don't get it with the fucking people. I just don't get any of it. Like, what the fuck do you care? Seriously, what do you care?
It shouldn't matter, like realistically. And the funny thing is, I think we may have talked about this on air, but it also could have been off air about how, a couple months ago, some of the players were keeping hush on their vaccination status because they don't want to bring politics into their sports lives. And I 100%. And there's a lot of guys that are vaccinated that are saying, I'm not going to talk about my vaccination status because, to go back to an old quote from Michael Jordan, Republicans buy sneakers too. So these guys don't want to fuck with this political bullshit. So when someone's like, oh, what's your vaccination status? It doesn't matter. I'm here to talk about my game and get ready for this new season and all this. Like, it's a very like stock standard, almost Patriots like response when anytime they're asked about anything. It's deny, defer.
Yeah.
And
then it's like the media is like, well, don't you think you should comment on it? And it's like, no.
You
ask about football? I'll talk about football.
Right, exactly. They're here to play football. And the other thing too is people automatically assume that if you say something about it, you're an anti-vaxxer or you're an anti-this vaxxer. Because I saw Matthew Judon, the new defensive end for Patriots. He tweeted the other day randomly. Well, not randomly. It was after the NFL rules and everything came out. All he tweeted was, man, the NFLPA sucks. And then I clicked on the comments. He got lit up all over the comments. People being like, just get the vaccine. You should be vaccinated. That's irresponsible. Like, people were like ripping him up and down. And then he tweeted again and goes, you guys have no idea what my vaccination status is, so don't comment on it. Meaning, like, he's probably vaccinated. So And then, so it was funny though, too, reading some of the comments, like 80% of the comments were like people on their fucking high horse telling him to just get the vaccine. But then other people who were more informed were commenting, being like, yeah, man, this new ruling really fucks over the players. Like, there's nothing there. And so then I read a little bit more into it, and it's fucking the players over, if
Well,
anything.
that's what he said. He said, "Man, the NFLPA sucks because
Right.
they agreed to the terms
Correct.
that if a and this is where this is so bad, and I'm going to explain it the best I can.
Yeah.
If
Good
an
luck.
unvaccinated COVID breakout, or if a breakout stems from unvaccinated players and a game can't be played in that week, then it's going to be forfeited and nobody on either team gets paid.
Yep.
Why the fuck would the NFLPA agree to that? So you're telling me if Cole Beasley causes an outbreak, which again, figure that one out for me. No, seriously, stem that to one person. Yeah, figure
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
out.
Figure out where the first one came from.
Yeah. So Cole Beasley starts it, and Kansas City's coming into town. So now, because Cole Beasley's an irresponsible piece of shit, and he started this outbreak, there's a forfeit.
Yeah.
But because the game wasn't played, they couldn't get it in. Now nobody gets paid. So the Kansas
Right.
City Chiefs, all of those players on that team, don't get paid. So now here's a question though.
Well,
And
some people do get paid still. The owners of the teams.
well, so this is this is what I was going to say is, so now because of that, so not only do the Chiefs get fucked because the Bills had to forfeit, so the Chiefs get a win, but no one gets paid.
Right.
But the money doesn't go anywhere. It's
Right.
not a fine.
Right. It's not
So
like
the
the
money
money
just
sits
stays
in
in
this
the
kitty.
organization.
It doesn't sit in the middle of the Monopoly board until you land on free parking. The money stays in the pockets of the owners.
Yep. Stays right in that team bank account.
Yeah. And that's why Judon tweeted, man, the NFLPA sucks.
There's so many things wrong with this idea that I cannot believe. Like, truthfully, man, as mad as it would make me, the players should strike. They should absolutely fucking strike.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they can at this point because the PA already agreed to it.
So I know so this is what I mean. I know they can't. Individual players would have to just strike, but because it's the NFL and because careers are so short, dudes gonna be like, nope, gotta make my money.
Right. Yeah, that's so fucked up. And it's
so
in
bad.
a year where they just added an extra game to the season, like an extra regular season game, which gets the owners more money.
Yep.
And in a year where they added the regular season game to get the owners more money, now they're threatening if there's a COVID outbreak from an unvaccinated player, the owners keep more money.
Yep. The players won't get paid.
Yeah.
But the owners don't get fined.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it. But I don't know about contracts for this year, whether they're prorated or there's like a stock standard, like everyone gets paid X, or if they tier the players, like a tier A gets paid whatever per that 17th game. But I'm also not sure if it's like, okay, you're making $20 million this season, and in 16 games, that's a stupid number. You make $16 million this year, and in a 16 game season, you get $1 million every week. Well, in a 17 game season, now you get $850,000 every week. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the particulars of the contracts with the extra game is, but I know for sure the more regular season games there are, the more money the owners make.
The players also used to get paid for preseason games. So I think the elimination of 2 preseason and the addition of 1 regular season potentially equals out.
Yeah.
Um, and again, all you have to do is be dressed or just be
Right.
on the active roster.
Right.
So that part, I think that part equals out, but it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But this is where we're at in the world.
Right. And also now too, uh, Johnson and Johnson keeps getting fucked over and over. Did you see the thing that came out that I don't know where this got released? This is one of those things where, you know, we sit here and we say follow the paper trail. Um, but it just was released within the last week or two that allegedly the Johnson and Johnson vaccine is not good against the Delta variant. But magically, you know, the Pfizer one is still whatever 60% effective against the Delta vaccine, but the Johnson and Johnson one's only like 40% effective.
But if you so this is the thing though, if you listen to politicians, which we've been doing for the
Yeah.
last year and a
Oh,
half,
definitely listen to politicians for
yeah,
medical
so
advice.
that's what we've been doing, right? So we've been listening to politicians.
Yeah, I think for my next physical, I'm gonna call up whoever my local
I wouldn't call up
district
your
rep
local
is.
representative. Yeah,
Yeah. And I'll just
I
have him
wouldn't
do my physical.
wouldn't go to a doctor.
No.
Or if you can get a doctor, make sure they're on like state government payroll or something.
Yeah. They make
Because
sure they
everyone
work for the
knows,
government.
well, because everyone knows how good the doctors at the VA
Yeah.
are. But Biden said if you get the vaccine, you can't get COVID. So we've been listening to politicians, right?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Let alone all these people
I mean,
that
he
have.
probably said something different the next day, but
Yeah.
he said that one day.
Yeah. He doesn't remember what he said. But it's
Did you
like,
see? Did you see like his fucking Don Vito moment the other day? Did I send it to you? I might have sent it to you.
I
He's just
maybe.
talking, and then it's like Don Vito from Viva La Bam when he's just like, and it's
Yeah.
like, obviously it was more under control, but all of a sudden it's like Biden's talking, and then he like starts like kind of tripping over what he's saying, and then he just makes kind of like sounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. You're just making noises.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's been a tough run for Johnson and Johnson though. They just keep getting fucking hammered. Like I saw this one thing.
I think it's the other companies are definitely banning against them.
Yeah. Well, I think they're an easy target because recently, like I would say maybe within the last month and a half, they got sued by the state of Oklahoma. Well, I would imagine they got sued a long time ago, but it was settled within the last month and a half because of the opioid crisis. Apparently, Johnson and Johnson was one of the biggest producers of OxyContin, and the opioid epidemic that obviously this country has struggled with for the last fucking, I don't know, 2 decades at this point. They settled for, I have it written down right here, $572 million to the state of Oklahoma to help pay for like rehab and all that shit and damages, whatever that means. Apparently it was so bad, and I think it might be the largest settlement between like a private company and like a state government ever. And it was so bad that Johnson and Johnson was like, all right, cool. So after this, we're not making opioids anymore. They just stopped the production. Like they don't make anything because I don't think anybody makes OxyContin anymore. I think they might have stopped production a while ago, but like any kind of opioid at all, Johnson and Johnson was like, yeah, no, we're good. We're going to stop doing all that. And then like 2 weeks ago, they were getting fucking hammered because they own, what is it? Aveeno and I'm going to fuck this up. It's not like Coppertone, I don't think. Oh, Neutrogena. Aveeno and Neutrogena, who had a massive recall for their sunscreen. This was like right at the beginning of summer. it came out that Neutrogena and Aveeno, there was some compound in their sunscreen that was proven to cause cancer, and both of those companies are owned by Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, they're just crushing it right now.
Yeah, but they definitely make a good vaccine too. You should definitely trust them on everything that they make.
Well, so while you were talking, I did a quick search, and Johnson and Johnson, there's an agenda somewhere because there are studies that say it is effective against the Delta variant, and then there's studies that say it might not be effective against the Delta variant. So
Yeah.
someone's trying to crush them through semantics,
Right.
or someone's trying to save them through semantics. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have no clue. So that's and that like that's the thing is like that's how you know something stinks. Like, again, if it fucking walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then it's a witch.
Yeah.
Something's not right here. Like, how are they getting these conflicting studies? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's the whole thing about science too, is like once you do a study, like you're supposed to be your information is supposed to be like reproducible. So like if you do one study that comes out and says like, oh yeah, the vaccine is really good, and then the next one comes out and it says like, well, maybe not. Well, it's like, all right, well, how about a third one or a fourth one so we get some more conclusive information here, and then again follow the paper trail and see who funded the studies. I mean, that's the one of the very few things I will say I actually did learn in college, although that might have been grad school, was follow the paper trail on scientific papers and see, because like by law, they're supposed to write in if they have any conflicts of interest,
Yeah.
and then also they have to say who funded the research. So that's another thing that people really kind of overlook, because no one actually reads the paper. Everyone reads the headline or they read the article
That
from
talks
whatever
about the
news
paper,
outlet that
and that they probably didn't actually read the paper either.
right, right. They had like some intern. That's the thing. Like at CNN, they have some intern read the research paper. The intern kind of like, summarizes it to the writer, and then the writer puts something together, and then the editor picks out the title. Like that's another thing I learned, is that a lot of times journalists don't get to pick the title of their articles. It's
No,
it's chosen by the editors. So it's like by the time you actually read this thing, it's like, well, did any of you even look at the fucking research?
nope.
Like, do you know even where you would find it?
Why would they do that, dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No sense. You know what also doesn't make any fucking sense is I think I'm positive we've railed on this before. Gender reveals. People are still doing these. I mean, I think I know, like I said, for a fact, we have fucking ripped on gender reveals.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, there's a massive forest fire out on the West Coast. I forget whether it's in California or Arizona. I can look it up really quick. It's from, a Southern California. Here we go. A Southern California couple has been charged with 30 crimes, including involuntary manslaughter, for their gender reveal, which allegedly sparked the deadly El Dorado wildfire last year. A quote, smoke generating pyrotechnic device used to announce the sex of the couple's baby allegedly caused the fire. One firefighter died and several homes were destroyed in the blazes. The couple has pleaded not guilty. But like, come on, man. What are we doing? Why are we still doing gender reveals? They suck. Everyone hates them. Nobody gives a fuck. Like,
dude, it's the same thing as a baby shower. No one wants to go to your baby shower.
Yeah. No one cares. Make a stupid
Have,
fucking post on Instagram and just be like, hey, it's a girl. Or
yeah, or
don't.
like
I don't care. Like
go
text your
live on
friends.
something so
Yeah.
that everyone can decide that they don't want to go.
Right. Right. Gender reveals are the dumbest fucking things ever. And like, so there we go. On the complete one end of the spectrum where it would be like good, what's the best case scenario of a gender reveal? Everyone comes, maybe you get a little buzz on, and maybe you do something stupid in the video and it goes viral, and you get famous for what, a month, and then you disappear, right? Maybe less than that, like however long viral videos last. I'm sure there's some statistical information on the internet about like the average length of like a viral video circulating, but like, cool, you get a lot of views on Instagram for a month. That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario, you start a forest fire and you kill a fucking firefighter and destroy people's homes. Like, what what's like, uh, the good definitely certainly doesn't outweigh the bad in this. And like we said, everyone hates your stupid fucking gender reveal anyway. So just don't do
Whatever
it.
happened to, oh, do you know what you're having? Oh, yeah, we're having a boy. Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
happened to that?
I don't know. People are so fucking stupid. People suck. People are the worst kind of people.
It's the world we live in now. Gender reveals, promposals.
Yeah.
It's all the fucking worst.
I wonder if nah, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that to myself. um do you get anything else before we wrap this up? I've totally forget what time we started, and Zoom does not keep a running track. Um but I think we're probably getting up on that. Do you have anything before we wrap up?
Let me pull up the old document. They did have a couple things. Oh yeah, though let's just go right to this. So as we discussed
Oh yeah.
with Ian,
Yep.
or as we alluded to, once again, Massachusetts passes sports betting in the House of Representatives. It was overwhelming this time.
Yep.
But that's kind of where we got to last time as well. So it still has to go to the Senate, where frankly the senators are a bunch of fucking guns.
Yes.
There's still senators talking about like why, like they don't want it. Like, dude, we're like, you don't get it. If you think, like, take any bad thing about sports betting, legitimate, not legitimate, whatever, you are missing the fucking point, because there is no, just because it's not legal here doesn't mean no one does it.
Right.
All it means is that you're watching money go to the streets, a different state, or a different country.
Yep.
But if you make our lives easier on how to place a bet with more reputable companies, not mybookie.net, they're good, they're fine.
Yeah. Mybookie.ag, use a promo code sarcasm pod when you sign up, and they will match your first deposit for 50% up to $1,000. So,
Yeah, but like,
you want to go to mybookie.com and use promo code sarcasm pod, you go right ahead. But it would be nice if we had it in Massachusetts.
And they're fine, and their withdrawal rules aren't bad, and their lines are pretty good. But like, Bet Online, great book. It's a great book online.
Yeah.
But someone might go, oh, I'm going to put $50 in. Maybe hit a couple bets. They win 150. Nope, you can't deposit that. You have to have $500 to deposit. So
Withdraw.
That person now just lost whatever. Because again, we're doing it anyway. So there's no like, oh, well, it's illegal, so no one's doing it. Nope, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're just, again, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Antigua, Costa Rica, everywhere else is getting Massachusetts.
Barbados, Bermuda.
Forever. Anywhere that just doesn't give a fuck.
Yep.
But the senators are still talking about it like in this archaic way. I don't know how you're a politician and look at sports betting and figure two things. You should, one, acknowledge that everyone's doing it in some capacity.
Yeah.
or anyone that wants to do it is doing it in some capacity. And by doing that, the state makes no money right now.
Right.
So when the state always wants money, like always wants more, you're refusing to take it for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah. And it's as simple as like looking at our neighboring states and like look at the numbers that they bring in. Like population wise, we have more people in Massachusetts than all of our surrounding states.
Yes.
And it's like Rhode Island has it, Connecticut has it, New Hampshire, Maine, they all have it. What are their numbers like? Well, you have a pretty good fucking idea based off of their population, what our numbers would be for our population. So get some fucking nerds to do some math and say, hey, this is how much money we're leaving on the table every month.
Charlie Baker writes in $35 million in proposed tax revenue due to sports betting.
Yeah.
Every time they do budget stuff.
Yeah.
He writes it in 35 million a year.
Yeah. And he wants it. He's a proponent, but it's the state senators.
It's the senators. They're still fucking, they still don't want it. It's just amazing. It's just really amazing.
If this still doesn't pass, I need to do some research and find out who these state senators are, when they're up for election, and like what districts they even do. Like, I don't know how state government works as far as like senators, because I know obviously in federal government, every state has 2 senators, and then you have representatives from the House based off of your population. But like, I don't know how state government works as far as senators and then, you know, whatever else they're called, the House. Yeah, because Massachusetts has a House. So representatives from the state of Massachusetts, like I have, like, does it go by district?
I don't know. There's like 160 of them though.
Yeah, there's 160 state representatives.
Ish.
How many senators do we have?
I don't know. The vote in the House was like 150 something to 3.
Yeah, I can't imagine we only have 2 state senators. That doesn't seem.
No, we don't. We definitely don't.
Definitely doesn't seem right. So we need to figure this out, and we need to find out which way they voted, because it's public information. And then we need to start a campaign against the people that voted, the senators that voted against it. And we can show them purely based off of sports betting that degenerates are not to be fucked with because they're degenerates and we're pretty much useless 90% of the time. But when we want something, we don't stop until we get it.
I don't know, dude. Like, legit degenerates, they're fucking smarter than people think.
Yeah.
So we've got 160 representatives and 40 senators.
I wonder, does it say like how it works, like what they're based off of?
No, I mean, I'm guessing population, but
no, I mean like sorry, like to what like districts they represent. Is it by like county or?
Yeah.
Oh,
but there's also like, so I'm seeing like first Suffolk, second Suffolk, first Worcester.
Oh.
Then I'm seeing like Worcester and Middlesex, Cape and Islands, Middlesex and Suffolk, Middlesex and Worcester, Worcester and Norfolk. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know how that works.
I'm looking at the map right now. I think I fall in District 25. I don't know what that means though.
I don't either.
25 is Norfolk, Bristol, and Middlesex. That's a weird district. Norfolk and Bristol are right next to each other, and then Middlesex County is like where we grew up.
Yeah, but Middlesex County is also fucked up because it's like greater Boston area, and then like all of a sudden, definitely not greater Boston.
Yeah. Oh, apparently Natick is in Middlesex County. That's weird. Because that's what's in my district. I want to find out who my guy is. Find my legislator. Zip code. Let's find out. My senator is Michael J. Barrett. And my representative is Carmine Lawrence Gentile. That's very weird. I wonder if you can like click on these guys and see like how they voted.
I think that Carmine guy was one of the proponents for gyms being reopened and whatnot.
Oh, cool. Oh, you can see. So I just clicked on my guy, Mike Barrett, my senator. But I can only see the bills that he has sponsored. I can't see how he voted. So I don't know. Oh, maybe he is a sponsor on this one. An act regulating sports wagering. H 3977 is the bill, in case you were wondering.
So the other thing too is no one thinks this is going to get done before the fall. Like, what the fuck? NFL season. Why the fuck would you not get it in before the NFL season?
Yeah.
How does that make any fucking sense?
Well, the other thing too is everyone was talking about trying to get it done in the state before their recess because, Congress and fucking everyone still takes a vacation in August now. They take like a month off or 3 weeks, whatever the fuck it is.
Well deserved.
Yeah. Which originally those recesses, because they take a couple of them a year. Those recesses, like the extended breaks, it's like 3 or 4 weeks where there's no one in Congress. That was originally, in case you didn't know, here comes a history lesson right at you. That was originally because our politicians had real jobs once upon a time. They weren't career politicians. So if you're, the senator from fucking Kentucky was a dentist, he would spend his time in Washington doing his job as a senator. And then occasionally, multiple times throughout the year, they would take recess, where of like 3 or 4 weeks, so that the dentist from Kentucky can go back to Kentucky and continue his practice of dentistry and not lose his business, because that was his primary source of income, because politicians were not able to rely on their income solely as politicians in order to get by. But somewhere along the line, that all changed. And now we have people that have been in the office for 40 fucking years and they're worth millions of dollars. And yeah, so that's awesome. And they still hold true to the recess where they need an extended break. So pieces of shit. All politicians are cunts.
Well, if you want to know 2 names specifically, Cynthia Cream and
Cream as in like cream of Clapton?
Like CREEM.
Oh.
And Jamie Eldridge. They are not only opposed to sports betting, they're opposed to casinos.
Wow. So wow, we're still on that, huh?
They must be like 4 billion years old and just fucking crotchety old fucks.
Yeah. Fuck them. Fuck anybody that doesn't vote for this. Just want sports betting. So
nope, can't have it.
I think we have reached that moment in time.
All
where
right.
We start to wrap things up here.
Final thought.
Yes.
So I saw this the other day. Some guy was
hanging on the street the other day.
Someone was talking about recovering from some kind of injury. I forget who it was. Just a regular person.
Yeah.
Whatever. And someone comments underneath, hey, what did you do ankle? We'll call it an ankle. Hey, what did you do to help your ankle? I like fractured mine in 3 spots, but I don't want to pay for physical therapy. So I was wondering if you had any exercises or anything I could do. Can you imagine going to Twitter with an actual medical injury and expecting to get advice that would be sound and effective.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, no, but the general population, yeah, I believe it. Because what are
So
we at now? Are we somewhere around 96% of all people are just fucking stupid?
yeah, I mean, we got to be there. But the thing I'm trying to figure out is you don't want to pay for physical therapy, so you're gonna do it yourself? Like what is your plan here?
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that either.
And it's like obviously you got a diagnosis because whatever you said you did, you got a diagnosis on that.
Right.
So I mean, I guess if you have no insurance, I'm trying to wrap my head about what would what would possess someone to go to Twitter for physical therapy and not ask a physical therapist. That's the best part. They asked a random person.
Yeah. I'm at a loss. That's really fucking stupid.
Like, isn't it
like,
really impressive?
like it is so stupid. I don't really have I don't have anything witty to say about it.
No, because you could go to like a physical therapist on Twitter and be like, "Oh, I have a avulsion fracture of my, you know,
Vulva.
M5, whatever," and it's like, "Hey, man, that's not something like I would give advice on without, an evaluation in person." And it's like, "Oh, okay, well, thanks." Like that's, I mean, still a bad call, but at least it tracks a little bit.
Yeah.
But it would be like me saying, um, oh, like one way I got, but see, it's not even right. Oh, okay, I have to switch industries because it's something I'm not. It would be like, oh, something I use to chip, um, something I use to chip to like hit the ball closer to the hole, blah blah blah, which is just something I do, but I'm not a golf coach. And then someone like asking me about, you know, like lead pressure or wrist angles and whatever, and it's like, what, dude? You are asking. First of all, you are asking the wrong person,
Yeah.
and Twitter is just the wrong place for this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but I don't want to pay an instructor, so I'll just ask some random person.
Yeah.
What the
What
fuck?
what do you think you're gonna get from that? Like, do you think this random person on Twitter is gonna give you something profound?
But this is how like working out is in a way because you go to a commercial gym, someone just goes, it's like, oh well, that guy's big. Let me just ask him for advice, and then
Yeah.
you get advice from the big guy, and it's like he has no idea what he's talking about. Never mind that he's probably on drugs, but like I don't know that one like caught me
Yeah.
really off guard because
Yeah.
again, usually I have something witty to say to anybody, but it's like, dude, like medical advice on Twitter from someone who's not in medicine. That's a
Yeah.
new one.
Yeah. That's a new level of fucking stupid.
I just don't even know what the desired outcome was. I just don't
No.
get anything. I don't understand any of it.
Yeah, that's bad.
Like speechless bad. Like, have we ever really thrown something that like makes us like speechless?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever not had at least something fucking stupid to say.
There's like nothing to say to that. Like
No,
it is
other than
like
I feel bad for you.
other than it's like, wow, that's stupid. It's like, yeah, no, it's stupid, but like that's all I got.
Yeah.
I can talk shit to anybody. I got nothing for that. It's like you are too stupid to insult.
Right. Yeah. I would feel bad insulting you.
No, it's like again, it's like beating up on a fucking handicap kid or something.
Yes.
You could make that the title. You are too stupid to insult.
Too stupid to insult. I like it. All right. So my final thought has to do with more current events that went down this week. Although by the time this comes out, it will be last week. But over the last week or two plus, we've had Richard Branson went into space a couple weeks ago, and then last week Jeff Bezos went into space in his giant penis rocket. I tried to start the Austin Powers joke on Twitter, and I'm not famous enough, and it did not catch. I just posted a picture of the giant rocket in the air, and I said, "Oh my god, that looks like a huge," and then dot dot dot, and then no one picked it up from there. Um, but is that Austin Gold member
Uh,
or the spy who shagged me?
so
There's one of the Austin Powers movies. There's like the giant rocket that goes. Yeah, oh, it's on the radar maybe, and it looks like a dick,
yes,
and it's like the running joke, like, oh my god, that looks like a.
and they did something that looked like boobs too.
Yeah, yeah,
So I forget which one was which.
yeah. So like I said, I tried to get that going on Twitter, but I am not nearly famous enough. So it was a swing and a miss, but I at least stepped up to plate. So we got Jeff Bezos in space. We've got Richard Branson in space. And then very shortly after, like a couple days maybe, I saw this post that was on July 20th. And it said 1969. God, I have to do math. 2021 minus 1969. 52 years ago. So this was 52 years ago on July 20th. This is when I saw this on Instagram. It was the 52nd anniversary of Apollo 11 landing on the moon. So I looked at that and I go, huh, that's weird, because we've had two rich dickheads in the last 2 weeks barely get to the edge of space. Like, by the textbook definition of like where space begins, they like just hit it. I think it's like what, 40 miles above the Earth's surface, whatever the fucking number is. They were there for like 10 minutes, maybe less, probably less than 10 minutes. And it's not like they went into like outer space. Like, they just kind of like just hit the threshold to be considered in space, and then they came back down. Two of the richest people on the planet publicly. Like I said, there's always those oil sheiks in fucking the Middle East that laugh at Jeff Bezos. But two of the richest people in the world both barely go to space within this 2 week span. And then a couple days after that, on July 20th, we celebrate the 52nd anniversary of Apollo 11 landing on the moon. So my whole thing is everyone's getting all fucking jacked up about going to space. Well, the United States government not only went to space, but they landed on the moon 52 years ago. Like, what are we doing? 52 fucking years ago, the government was on the moon. And now, because this is another thing. We've talked before about how we say like technology, like government technology is 15 years ahead of, where we're at. So, we had Face ID on our fucking phones like 3 years ago. Well, the government had that 20 years ago. All this shit. Well, this one in particular, the government was, I would say, more than 52 years ahead, because they didn't just go to space. They landed on the fucking moon. Yeah. Well, they did. They definitely did. I'm a believer that they did.
Why were you there?
But I think that the video is fake. Because when you, not to get super into fucking conspiracies here, but if you travel through the Van Allen radiation belt that surrounds the Earth, the radiation is strong enough to destroy film. So what I think really happened was they got to the fucking moon, they took a bunch of videos, and when they came back through the Van Allen radiation belt, it destroyed all the film. So they were like, fuck, what do we do? Instead of just being honest about it, they went and filmed a bunch of fake videos. And that's what we saw. That's at least my take on the moon landing. But like I said, 52 years ago, we were on the moon. And now last week, Jeff Bezos touches the dick tip, his dick tip he touched tips, the tip of his dick spaceship to the tip of the dick of space. They touch tips and everyone's flipping out saying this is amazing. It's not that fucking cool to me.
Yeah, I'm missing the part where this is amazing.
Yeah, I don't care.
I just don't get why it's relevant. They can't do it. Like, again, until you can get people to, like, again, it takes too fucking long. Like, until you get to space and do something with it, I don't care.
Right. I don't care.
Like, you're going to space on a technicality.
And it's so funny too, like thinking about all these. So obviously, like the big three at this point are Branson, Bezos, and Musk. And Branson and Bezos just spent all this time trying to get into space, and they finally did it. They're like, "Oh, we were the first people and first civilians in space, and all this stuff." And now everyone's like, "Oh, Elon Musk hasn't been in space, or Elon Musk isn't doing this." And I turn around and I look at it, and granted, I'm a little bit of a stand for Elon Musk, but that motherfucker's trying to get to Mars because he recognizes, hey, we've already been to space and we've already been to the moon. Where have we not put people yet? Mars. All right. Well, I want to put people on Mars. You know what I mean? So it's like I would imagine Elon Musk kind of looks at Branson and Bezos and goes, that's cute. You fucking children trying to do stuff that the government already did 52 years ago. I'm trying to do something that the government just barely was able to do. And if he puts people there, it will be something that the government has not done yet. So I don't know. I that's my
that would be interesting. I don't care about the rest. Again, it's technicality. Like, they went to space on a technicality.
Yes. Yep.
Like, the US government went to the moon. You got to beat that.
Right.
And putting a rover on Mars. So it's like the two, like, parallels. They put a rover on Mars, put people on the moon. Let's figure out something better. Yes. If you want me to give a fuck.
Yes. And that's enter Elon Musk. So
yeah, unless you're gonna put a commercial fucking flight with people on the moon and not just two astronauts or whatever it was, fine, gotcha.
Yeah. But they still haven't even gotten to the moon. Like, Bezos and Branson haven't gotten to the moon. They barely got to space. So, like, how far away are we from them getting to the moon, and then advance that even more of having like a commercial trip to the moon? Like, that's so fun. It just feels like wasted time and resources to me.
This is rich people shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess it's the difference.
Wouldn't get it.
It's yeah, I know. But it's also the difference between them and Elon, because he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. I want to go somewhere different that we haven't been yet.
Yep.
So, moral of the story is Elon Musk is the greatest.
He should run for president.
Yeah. He should. Musk and Schwarzenegger. There you go. 2024. Yeah. There's your winning ticket.
Yep. I'm good with it.
Yeah. I'd vote for it. I'm part of the 96%.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to do it for us, everyone. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, if you haven't already, give us a thumbs up, click subscribe. We've gotten a bunch of new subscribers lately. I'm going to attribute, most of that to Ian McMillan. So thank you to Ian, and welcome to Ian's fans to the show. Hopefully you enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe. If you're just on the audio version, subscribe to wherever you are. If you use Apple Podcasts, go to the iTunes store, give us 5 stars, leave us a review over there. All this is for the engagement, as far as like rankings and showing up and visibility and all that stuff. The only thing that matters is your engagement with your audience. It doesn't matter if you have 20,000 subscribers. If you don't have any likes or reviews or anything, you're not going to make the charts. So all that stuff actually does help, believe it or not. So you can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Our Facebook page is just Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, good night.